Hey guys, I've got my favorites for you today. We're going to be talking about what I've been loving in the month of August, and there's a lot of stuff because I feel like my August was kind of split in two. The first 2 weeks of August I was in New York, and then I've been home, and almost felt like I was using very different things. So I almost feel like I have 2 months worth of favorites here. But let's go ahead and just jump right into it. I don't really have any new foundations to mention, even though I've been testing a whole lot, but I feel like a lot of the testing happened the second half, and I haven't really been able to like bond with one. But I did want to mention, and this review just went up, I did want to mention this new one from Sisley. This is a newly reformulated foundation of their Phyto Tint Ultra Eclat. And I love this one. It's what I'm wearing today. And if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is put as much of the favorites on my face for this video, and I'll do a cutaway of me applying it so you can kind of see it in action. And this is what I have on my face today. So I'll do a cutaway now of me applying it. I do like applying this with my fingers. I'm not a finger applier of makeup, but I use a lot less product, and I really like the coverage that I get with it. With about 2 pumps of this using my fingers, I get a really nice like light medium kind of coverage, and the finish is wonderful. It just starts out very, very skin-like. By the end of the day, 8-10 hours, just a little bit of my natural radiance starts to kind of peek through. Nothing greasy, nothing too oily. It just looks so beautiful and natural and light on the skin. You can't feel it. It feels like absolutely nothing on the skin. So I did want to mention this as sort of like a quick honorable mention from this last month, but I don't feel like I've bonded with it enough to make it a favorite of August. But the ones that I've been loving, really no change from the past couple of months. The Sisley Tinted Sunscreen Cream. I took this to New York with me because it's, you know, it's a plastic squeezy bottle, very easy to travel with. It has SPF in there. It just seemed like the perfect thing to bring, and I was very, very happy that I had this. So I've used this a lot, still love it, will always love it. I feel like this is probably like my #1 favorite foundation at the moment. I just love reaching for it. And then the other one is the Guerlain L'Essentiel. This is the one that was just released in the US, and I love this one. I've been wearing this a lot since I came back from New York and for the previous months. I purchased this in Toronto months back before it was available in the US. It's another one that has, I want to say, a creamier texture than the Sisley. This one's like a little bit runnier than this one. I want to say the level of coverage is similar, but this one has a little bit more radiance, and for someone with dry skin like myself, I really like that radiance in a foundation. So this has it. This one definitely has, at least upon first application, a flatter appearance than this one. So those are the foundations that I've been using, and the concealer I've been using, I brought this to New York with me. It's just been sitting on my vanity. This is really the only one I've been using, but this is the Sisley Stilo Lumiere. I have it in the shade #2. I've mentioned this in several of my favorites recently, and I love it. I have it on my eyes today. It's very, very light. It's a little bit more of like a highlighting pen, almost like that YSL Touche Eclat pen. And it's just perfect for the lighter coverage foundation that I like to wear in the summertime. Just amazing. So this one, still a favorite, still going strong. And then I've still been using my Kogan Do Natural lighting powder to kind of set my entire face if I need to. With this particular foundation, I actually don't feel like I need to set my face, so I don't actually have powder all over my face, but I do have a little bit of powder under my eye, and I've been having like this little love affair with this By Terry Hyaluronic Hydra Powder. And when I first tried this powder last year, I did not like it. I just thought it looked very, very dry. I thought it aged my under eyes. But when I use my finger to apply just the lightest bit, it works. It really works to like blur under my eyes and like mattify down there, which I happen to like. I don't really like a radiant under eye. Just, I don't know, it makes me look sweaty. So I like a matte under eye. And so when I use just the tiniest bit, I get that effect without it looking too dry. I do think this is a powder though, where you can go overboard like very, very quickly. So I think if I were to even add just another light layer of it under my eyes, I think it would all of a sudden look very, very dry and very cakey. But when you use just the tiniest bit, it's perfection. I absolutely love it. I think it does an amazing job blurring and mattifying, and it's been great for under my eyes. When I use this in my It was my get ready with me. It was the look where I ended up looking kind of grungy. I used this and I dusted a very, very light layer of this all over my face. I thought it worked too, but again, you have to use just the like teensiest bit. So I've been loving this lately. And then this was a lifesaver while I was in New York because it was so easy, it was so portable. I just carried it with me all the time. And I loved it. It just came in really, really handy. And this is the Chanel Palette Essencial, and I have it in the color 150 Beige Clair. This is what is lovingly referred to as the LBP, the Little Black Palette. It has like a concealer slash base product here, a blush slash lip product here, and then like a highlighter. And this was absolutely perfect for those days in New York where it was really, really humid and the last thing I wanted to do was just slather more stuff on my face. What I would do is just add a little bit of this underneath my eyes where I have like a little bit of discoloration just to kind of even out my skin tone. I would put this like a little bit on my cheeks, a little bit on my lips, along with some lip balm or whatever. And then the highlight I would put, you know, on the tops of my cheekbones, and then I would actually just kind of smudge it on my eyelids. And it was great. I felt presentable. I didn't necessarily feel like Instagram ready, but it was just perfect for New York. It was like the mood that I was in, the weather there. The first week that I was there, it was incredibly, incredibly humid. There were like major thunderstorms every single night. So this was like excellent for that situation. This is like now my new favorite travel buddy. And I think I'm definitely going to be taking this to Japan with me. So just wanted to mention that. And because I just mentioned lip balm, I wanted to mention the Emil Miracle Lip Balm in Hamptons Summer. This is such a beautiful, beautiful lip balm. It's not too thick. It's not too thin. The scent of it is, I mean, it's to die for. It's like, it's a little bit fruity. It's a little bit beachy. This one is so amazing. This one and the Cashmere On Lip Pot in Lisa, these two are my absolute favorite. They have the most perfect texture for prepping because they're not too thick, but they're so nourishing, and they just make my lips feel so soft. And the scent, like the scent is just, oh, it just completely transports you to like the beach, sitting in a lounge chair and sipping like a really fruity, beachy beverage. That is exactly what this smells like. I love it. So I wanted to mention this, and I didn't bring this to New York because it's, you know, it's a little bit bulky. It's just, it's so beautiful. And I thought, you know, I don't need this. I'll leave this at home. And I brought just like a bullet form lip balm. I really miss this. And you guys know this about me. I feel like favorites really become favorites of mine when I don't use them for a while, and I miss them, and I really, really miss them, and I think about them. So that's what this lip balm was for me. I was so happy to come home to this little guy. And then this little bronzer here, this was recommended by you guys, so thank you so much. This is the Rms Buriti Bronzer, and I purchased this while I was in New York, right? Did I purchase this while I was in New York? Yeah, I purchased this while I was in New York at a Sephora, and I used it with you guys when I did my Get Ready With Me in New York City, and it just has the most interesting tone. Now in the pot, I feel like it just looks like maybe like a cool toned coppery kind of bronze color, but on the skin, and I have it on my cheeks today, it really makes for the perfect like contour, bronzy kind of situation because it actually has a very strong, I don't know if you can see it in the swatch, strong like cool plummy kind of undertone. It is the most interesting bronzer I have come across. It's very, very unique, and it actually works. The formula is beautiful. The sheen is perfect. It's not too much, you know, usually for bronzers, especially if you want to use them as a contour, you don't want something that's too reflective. Kind of takes away from the idea of contouring, but this has just enough. It's just like a little bit satiny, just so your skin doesn't look too dry or flat. It blends out beautifully. I don't find that this one fades at all, and I've been using it a lot ever since I got it, and it's easy. I just take my finger and I just tap a little bit, and you just keep going back and forth, and voila, it's like blended in. So this one I have to give up to you guys. Thank you for recommending this. Otherwise, I probably would not have ever picked it up. Oh, and the other bronzer I've been loving, I probably mentioned in one of my favorites a few months back, and then I kind of moved on from it or whatever. I just went back to it, and I love it. This is the Tom Ford Terra bronzer in their latest formula. This is the Glow bronzer, and I love this. It just has such a great neutral tone, and I just brush it all over. It gives me a healthy glow. I love this particular formula because it's a little bit more pigmented. It's just easier to work with. It blends out beautifully. I don't feel like I have to dig my brush in. I don't feel like it develops hard pan or anything like that, and it's just amazing. So this is the shade Terra. Did I mention that? This is 02 Terra. So this is the cooler one of the two that they have. Gold Dust is the other one, which is also lovely, but that one's a little bit warmer. So I've been reaching for the Terra one, and I have it, again, all over my face today just, yeah, just really all over and under my chin everywhere. So that is the Tom Ford Terra bronzer. And then in terms of blush, I have a lot of blush to talk about. Okay, first let's talk about the M Cosmetics blushes. Now I have a dedicated video to these, kind of swatching all of these and demoing an application. I have the color Pink Nectar on my face today. So these are serum blushes and they come with a little dropper application. There's 4 colors in total. These were sent to me, by the way, from M Cosmetics. So thank you very much to M. So it comes in 4 colors. That was Pink Nectar. This one is Rose Milk. This is the lightest one. And again, here's Pink Nectar. And then here is Sunset Sky, which is much more orange, warmer toned. And the last one is the deepest, which is Soft Amethyst. And these are probably one of the thinnest formulas of blush that I have. Every other kind of like non-powder blush that I have is kind of more of a cream, or it comes in a stick, or it's like a gel kind of form. This is definitely the thinnest. And the other experience I've had with a very thin kind of liquid blush are those Nars liquid blushes. I don't know the name, but they come in a little bottle and they have a little pump at the top. And I did not like those. I think I'm in the minority there, but I did not like those. I didn't think that they blended very evenly because they were so liquidy. I felt like I was just kind of spreading it around over and over again. And I had that fear with these, but these have more of like a gel consistency to them versus like watery. And so I feel like when I start to blend it out, when I'm tapping, it stays put. It doesn't feel like I'm just spreading it around on my cheek. So it just blends out really nicely and it gives you just the most perfect like wash of color. I feel like this Pink Nectar shade gives me that like pinched look. Like if you were to just kind of like pinch your cheeks a little bit, this is the kind of like flush that I would get. And it's so, so pretty. It's so natural. And I think if you're really into the like watercolor blush look, this would be perfect for you. You would love working with these. So those are the M Cosmetics. I think they're called like the Color Serum Blush Drops. I think that's the full name. Anyway, if you're interested in more info on that, don't forget to subscribe down below because I will be having a dedicated video to these up very, very soon. And then as for powder blushes, nothing new here. I've been loving those Laura Mercier blushes. These are the 2 that are in the big face palette that I got during the Nordstrom anniversary sale, which is still available on the Nordstrom site. So I'll have that link down below in my description box if you are interested. But I love these blushes. These 2 blushes are the same blush that's in her little compact. So I purchased these during the Sephora VIB sale because I love them so much. I got ginger and grapefruit, and ginger, while it doesn't look like much in the pan, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It just warms up your cheek a little bit. I don't even think you can see it swatched, like barely, but it just kind of warms up your cheek. Like it just gives you a hint of color and it's beautiful. This other color that I got, grapefruit, is like the exact opposite. It's just a really punchy color. And I think what I love most about these blushes is the formula. They are like almost like powder free. It's the most interesting formula. There isn't a lot of kick up. There's a ton of pigment payoff, as you can see. And even though like this ginger color is considered matte, it's like a demi matte. None of them are very flat or chalky or like dusty looking. They're really, really beautiful. So I'm still loving these Laura Mercier blushes. And I wouldn't be surprised if over the next month I even purchase more of the colors because I have 5 different colors in total now and I love them. I love them all. So those are the Blush Color Infusion blushes from Laura Mercier. All right, let's move on to eyes. Nothing to report in terms of eyebrows or mascara. I've been using the same stuff, just boring old same stuff. This is the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel. That's what I have in my eyebrows today. And I've been using my Chanel Le Volume de Chanel Waterproof in color number 20, which is like the dark brown. I've just been using these. When it comes to mascara, I try and use just like 1 tube since they go bad so quickly. I do have plenty of mascara backups, so I haven't even been purchasing any mascaras. Not even tempted because I have so many to work through. So I do think this is on its last legs because the other day I saw it flaking a little bit, which it doesn't normally do. So I think it's drying out. So maybe sometime soon I will have a new mascara to talk about. But that's what I've been using on my brows and my eyelashes. Let's talk about eyeshadow. Okay, first up is a shadow that I purchased while I was in New York. I went to the Atelier Beauty de Chanel down in Soho, and I fell in love with this Illusion d'Ombre shadow that is not new at all, and I was actually a little bit confused as to why I didn't have it, but I have been using this quite a bit. This is the color. It's just gorgeous. It's like the perfect one shadow shade. So here it is swatched. So it's just this perfect kind of neutral tone brown with this metallic sheen to it. And the metallic sheen is not even, it's not too gold, it's not too cool tone. It's all of it is just incredibly neutral and beautiful once you sweep it on the lids. It works, I think, for daytime, it works for nighttime, it works all by itself, it works if you just want to like kind of tap it in the center of a smokier eye look, if you want a little highlight there. It's just gorgeous. I love, love, love this. The only downside is this formula, I think, dries out fairly quickly. There's some people who actually commented, when I used this the last time, or when I mentioned this, maybe in my New York City haul, a few people mentioned like a few tricks that you can do if you want to kind of keep this moist. Some people put like a little bit of saran wrap between the actual pot and the cover there. So that sounds like a good idea. And a long time ago, someone mentioned to me, if you store them upside down, it's like air can't get into it. And so far that's actually kind of working. I was skeptical, but so far that's actually working. So I've been storing my single shadows, cream single shadows like this upside down, and they haven't dried out, but I've been loving that. And that's the color Mirage. Did I even say that? That's the color Mirage from Chanel. And then of course I have to talk about these luminescent eye shades from Chantek. I love these. I mean, these are so, so beautiful. And Chantek was kind enough in sending me these, and there's 6 in total. So I've pulled out my 3 favorites, which is Rhino, Pangolin, and Elephant. So let me just swatch these for you. So this is Elephant, and this is the one that I probably have used the most. These have like a baked formula. They are really, really glittery, but they're just beautiful on the lids. I feel like this looks very similar to the Chanel Mirage, so I definitely have a type, but that is Elephant. And this one out of the 3 that I'm going to talk about is probably the most, I don't know, straightforward kind of shade. There isn't any duochrome glitters in there or any kind of like different reflect. This one is just straight up silvery taupey goodness. I love this one. And then Pangolin is more of a lilac color, and it's just stunning, absolutely stunning. So that's Pangolin. This color to me is like the perfect like non-neutral neutral, because it obviously is not neutral. It has like a pink shift to it. It has a purple base to it, but it also is, you know, it's very relatable to the taupes. I feel like there's a taupe undertone there, and it's just stunning. Look at how much fun that is. I hope it's like catching in the camera here, but it's just such a beautiful shade. And then Rhino looks superficially very similar to Elephant, but it is actually very, very different. So it has just a hint of like khaki in there, and then the micro glitters and like the sheen to it is like duochromy. So it is much more exciting, if you will, than this very kind of straightforward Elephant, but both absolutely gorgeous. I mean, all of these are gorgeous. All 6 of them are gorgeous, but these are the 3 that I have been reaching for the most. Like the reflect in there is almost like a sage green. It's really, really pretty. Very, very special color. So when I reviewed these shadows, I did mention this, but I wanted to mention it again, just in case you didn't catch that video. These shadows, because of the micro glitter, there is fallout. So I would definitely apply them either before you put on foundation, or if you've already put foundation on, put some loose powder down so that you can like wipe it away after you've applied these shadows. Or use these shadows wet, which you can do. All of these shadows have a wet-dry formula, so you can use them wet, and that way there won't be any fallout. And there's definitely less fallout if you use your finger and kind of like press it onto your lid. And of course, if you use a sticky primer, that will also help. So just wanted to mention that there definitely is some fallout with these. And then I wanted to mention the Isom dual eye pencils. These are awesome. I love these. First of all, they're dual-ended, which I think is great. I'm not into like dual-ended brushes, but dual-ended pencils I am really, really into, because why not? So this one I've been using the most. This is the one that has brown at one end and gold on the other. They're really soft, they're really creamy, but they set down and they don't budge. I've been using this like to tightline, I've been using this along my waterline, and they stay put, they don't smudge, they're so good. And then they have a rose and aubergine one, and then they have a black and platinum one. Gorgeous. The platinum is so pretty because it's not that silver, it's like a warm kind of silvery color. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So I've been absolutely loving these, and I've also been loving the dual lip pencils. So this is one that I've been using incessantly, and this is the nude one. So there's like a lighter nude shade, which is what I actually have on my lips today, and then a darker nude shade, which is awesome. And I use this in that grunge look that I did, and it's great if you want to do like a little contouring or if you want to take it back to the 90s. This is awesome. So I've been loving these definers from Isom. They're great, and I love having like the two coordinating shades on either side. Just wonderful. And then just a quick mention of these Artist Couture. Sorry, I'm giggling because these are so like not me, but I love them. These are the Diamond Lights Finisher, and I've just been wanting to like add them to like every look. I didn't do it today because I actually filmed another video where I do this eye look. Anyway, that's coming up soon if it hasn't already gone up. But these are so much fun, and I never ever thought I would be a loose glitter eye person, but these have completely changed my viewpoint on them. Well, one, they're just stunning. They're just absolutely beautiful. So let me just swatch. Which one is this? Spotlight Glitz. Here's Spotlight Glitz, and that was just the teensiest bit of glitter. And what I love about them, well, one, look at that pigmentation. I just literally had like a few bits of the glitter, and I just swiped it down my hand. Look at that color. That's the other thing I absolutely love about these. They look wet. They just have the most, this has the most beautiful sheen. I absolutely love it. And there's like no fallout. So if I just tap it onto my eye, they stay put. I don't feel like they fade during the day. I don't see any additional fallout by the end of the day. They're just amazing. So that is Spotlight Glitz. And then the other one that I love, and I actually got two more during the Sephora VIB sale, but I haven't gotten a chance to use them yet. But the other one that I have that I really love is Nebula. And this is the one that's really, really interesting. So here is Nebula, and if you use this one dry, which I just did, and you just, just tap it onto your lid, it's gonna look very purpley, very lilac-y, and it's gonna have a shift to like a blue. It's very cool toned. But if you use this one wet, it's gonna look more blue. It's such an interesting color, and I think it's so much fun if you want to just add a little bit of something to your eye look. Just tap it like right into the center of your lid, and they're gorgeous. I love them. I'm having a lot of fun with these. So those are the Artist Couture Diamond Lights Finisher. All right, I just had to take a break from filming. I had to meet my parents for lunch. So I am back, and I think we left off with these Artist Couture Diamond Lights Finishers. So let's move on to lips. Let's start with what I have on my lips. So I did mention the Isom dual lip pencil. So I have the lighter side of the nude duo. I have that lining my lips. And then I have, now these are totally brand new. They probably shouldn't appear in these favorites, but I love them. I'm definitely getting more. And even after filming the video about these lipsticks, I fell in love with them even more because by the end of the day, they still felt very, very moisturizing. And that is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude lipsticks. And I have Noah on right now, and that is color 33NP. So it's a neutral pink, and sorry, I had to meet my parents for lunch and I didn't reapply. And actually, this is a very good, you can actually see like how much has worn off, or actually how little has worn off. These actually stay on pretty decent through a meal, and I had a salad with dressing. So there was plenty of oil, and this is what we have left. But I'm gonna go ahead and reapply a little bit more here. Oh my God. Did I just have a booger in my nose? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Booger crisis averted. Okay, so this is Noah on my lips. I also have Sammy, and I just made this video. I will link it up here if you happen to miss it, but I love the formula of these. They are really, really creamy. They are pigmented, and they stay creamy and comfortable feeling for as long as I wear them. It's not like a formula that goes on creamy and then it just sort of starts to set and it starts to feel dry. There's none of that. They're just wonderful, but I have only had them for a few days now, but I really wanted to mention them because I think they are really, really wonderful, and I'm sure they'll appear in next month's favorites. I did also want to mention my Bond number 9 lipstick. This was one that I brought to New York with me, bulky packaging and all. I just brought this whole thing, and I was so glad that I did because this was like the one lipstick, the one like pigmented lip product that I used over and over again. And Gramercy Park is the one that I have been loving. It's just so, so beautiful. I've talked about this before, so I'm not going to linger too long, but the formula is incredible. It's different from the Natasha Denona in that when it does set down, it all of a sudden feels like you don't have anything on your lips. It's really, really mysterious. The Natasha Denona, you feel like you have lipstick on. These, you feel like you have lipstick on when you apply them, and then they set down, and all of a sudden they feel like they've been completely absorbed, but that's not the case. They're just sitting there feeling weightless. So that is the Bond number 9 lipstick in Gramercy Park. That's that one. Let me actually just do a quick comparison with this and Noah, just so you guys can see the difference here. So Noah's just a teensy bit cooler than Gramercy Park, but very close. You guys can see that this is pretty much my comfort zone right here. Okay, the other lip product that I have to mention, because again, this was another one I brought to New York, and I thought for sure I was going to regret it, but I didn't, because I actually used it quite a bit in New York, and it was such the great conversation piece. So this is the House of Sillage lipstick, and this is the limited edition lipstick case. This was another one that I did an entire video on, and this was sent to me from House of Sillage, so thank you very, very much. But this lipstick case, so every time I pulled out this case to put on my lipstick, I would always turn heads, and then as soon as I realized it was lipstick, I always got questions. So the color in here that I have is Night, and this was a great, like a summertime kind of color because it's much pinkier and cooler than these two. The Gramercy Park I wore probably like when I was going out for dinner, and this one I definitely wore like more during the day if I was just meeting someone for lunch or whatever. And the formula is great. It's really moisturizing. It's really balmy. It has very good pigmentation, but it's not quite as much as these two, so it's a little bit of an easier lipstick to wear. And I mean, and it's just stunning. And they have cases that are not quite as adorned. They are maybe like a solid color, but then there's Swarovski crystals like all up and down the case, and they're just gorgeous. So I have really been enjoying this case, the lipstick. It's such a great conversation piece. So this is the House of Sillage limited edition Whispers of Truth case, and the lipstick color in here was Night. All right, the other lip product that I have to mention, and I feel like I've been mentioning quite a bit since I purchased this while I was in New York, and this is one of the Chanel Le Rouge Duo Ultra Tenue, and I have it in the shade Tender Rose? Tender Beige. Tender Beige. In my head, I've been calling this Tenderoni. So anyway, Tender Beige. And this lip product is magical. And in fact, unfortunately, I had to cancel my last live stream, but I'm hoping to be able to do one this coming week. And what I want to do is apply this lipstick with you guys and then do a mukbang, because I feel like that's the only way that you can prove to anyone who has any doubts, like I did, anyone who has any doubts that this is gonna stay on all day, like that's the only way to prove it to them, is just eat through a greasy meal after just applying this and it's still gonna be there. So on one end, you basically have like this liquid lipstick. So that's the color of Tender Beige. I almost said Tenderoni again. Tender Beige. And you have to let that set a little bit, and it's just gonna feel really, really sticky on your lips. So ideally, this is not a lip product that you can say, oh, I just want to use this, I don't have to use this gloss. You really kind of have to use both ends of this. And I want to say when I'm applying it, I probably wait, I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute, and then there's going to be no doubt. It gets very, very like sticky and almost uncomfortable. And then you apply this side, the black side, and it's a brush applicator, and it's just this clear gloss. And so my skepticism came in when I thought, why would putting a clear gloss over something actually help set it down? But that's what that side is. It's not really a gloss, although it has a texture and it appears that way, but it's not a gloss in that what it does is it actually sets this side down. And it is so incredible. Isn't that the weirdest, most magical thing ever? So I still want to do that live stream because I still feel like Maybe you're skeptical, but I want to do it and I want to prove to you guys that this lasts through a greasy meal. Anyway, it's magical. I want to get more colors. I just want to go in store and pick colors because a lot of them are very, very similar, and I'm very picky about my reds. I'm also very picky about my nudes. So anyway, I'm definitely getting more of these because it's magical. It's just magical. I mean, what? Hi. And it feels like glossy. Oh my gosh, I'm getting too excited over that. All right, we're coming towards the end here. I had to mention the Chantek lip veil. This was part of their fall 2019 collection, part of these eyeshadows, this collection here. And I love this formula. The lip veil formula it's very special. It is very, very nourishing on the lips. It really feels like just a lip balm, but the pigmentation is there and it doesn't just like wear off like that. Like it actually has a little bit of longevity, definitely more than you think for something so moisturizing. So they came out with a new color. It's called Tamboti, and it's like the perfect nude for me. So that's what Tamboti looks like. I feel like it has like the nourishing power of like a balm like this, but it actually, there's like density to it. Like it's not gonna just like slide right off your lips. So those are the lip veils from Chantek, and this color in particular, Tamboti, I am loving. And then my last two items are skincare products. And so the first one is something that I just got and I've been using it ever since, and I really, really love it. And I'm kind of asking myself why I haven't purchased this sooner. But this was actually sent to me from Cosbar, and I just wanted to thank them for that. But this is the Tata Harper Hydrating Floral Essence. And what I like about this spray the most is that alcohol is the very last ingredient. Generally with sprays like this, they're like the first or second ingredient, which I totally get, you know, it's like a face spray, but this has a lot of wonderful ingredients and then alcohol is last, which I will take. That means there's a very, very minimal amount here, but it's 100% free from GMO, toxins, fillers, artificial colors, artificial fragrances, and synthetic chemicals. So you can use this after you cleanse, you can use this before. It's basically just when you feel like your skin needs a little bit of a hydrating boost. And I actually can use this over makeup, not so much, I mean, I guess kind of like as a setting spray. It's not really gonna like set your makeup down the way like Urban Decay All Nighter will, or the Skindinavia sprays or anything like that. It's really gonna do what all the other sprays do, which is like kind of melt your powders down. So I'm just gonna spray some. It has a really nice light mist. It smells great. It smells like the color of this bottle. It just smells really, really fresh. No sweetness at all, but just really, really fresh. And I love that this is just kind of like a fine mist of a very kind of like fine liquid, yet it still feels like it's giving my skin like a drink of water. Like I like the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist, I think that's what it's called, because I have dry skin and it always feels great. But that's like a heavy kind of liquid. And you know, in the summertime, even if my skin feels dry, I just don't want anything more heavy on my skin. And this has been flawless. So I'm really enjoying this. And again, thank you so much to Cosbar for sending this over to me. And then the last thing I want to mention is something that I have been talking about ever since I got it. So I received this in PR from Sisley. This is their Velvet Sleeping Mask. And I got this right before I left for New York, and I packed it and thought, you know what? My skin always gets a little bit jacked up when I fly. Maybe this will be helpful when I get there. So we arrived to New York, and as expected, my complexion was sad. Got to where we were staying, I washed my face, and I was like, oh, let me try this mask. So I put a nice like thin layer of it all over, and I just kind of like let my skin be. I just put that on. All I did was wash it. I toned it. I put this on. I didn't do anything else with my skin. I just didn't want to like bother it anymore. And the next morning I woke up, not only did I look better than I did when I got there, but I looked better than I did when I left. Like I just looked well rested. My face looked plump. Everything. I didn't have any breakouts. Like this just, it balanced my skin. It brought it back to life, basically, is what it did. And I've been using it kind of nonstop ever since. So I'm not someone that masks all the time. I usually mask after I exfoliate. That's when I mask. Or if I feel like I'm having a problem, I will mask. But I've been like finding excuses to use this because I love it so much. It smells great. It smells like their Velvet Nourishing Cream because both have saffron flowers in there. And it's just this really light, mild floral fragrance. It's not like a rose scent or anything like that. It's a very beautiful organic scent. And let me show you the texture of it because it's not like a goopy kind of mask or anything. It's really just kind of, it's really like a pudding lotion kind of texture. And it's so like silky smooth. You're just gonna put it on your skin and you're just gonna feel your skin drink it in slowly. It's almost like time release moisture for your skin. It's just beautiful. Oh, that's the Chanel lipstick. So this has been my buddy for the past month. I wanna say I've been using this probably like twice a week. So what I'll do is I'll do all of my skincare steps. Like I'll remove my makeup, wash my face, I'll tone, I'll put the Sisley Essential Skincare Lotion down, which is that product that helps your skin absorb any other skincare products you're about to put on. And then I'll put like, I'm getting a little bit more and more generous with my application of this, but I'll put like a pretty generous but like thin layer of this all over my face, and then I just go to sleep. And I wake up and I feel like I have new skin. It's incredible. So I highly recommend this Velvet Sleeping Mask. It's just magical. Those are my favorites from the month of August. Definitely let me know what your favorites have been lately. I would love to hear from you. Sound off down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.